Ooh la la. So you bumbling, beautiful, brainful bastards want me to talk about more web shows? Sure, here's 9 more of them. But we're changing it up this time. Instead of grouping by emotions like our last venture, instead I'm gonna be inserting my opinion even more than I did last time. Because this time around, they are much worse. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We gotta lay down some ground rules. Each show covered will receive a percentage score of 0 to 100 based on how enjoyable overall they were. So the higher the number, the better the show. Simple. I really hope you're following this. And epic subscriber bell notifications as
89%
of you are not, so ring-a-ding that bell and stay swaggerific. God, I think I just blacked out or something. But anyway, Sawnik Zombiez. All throughout my time online, I knew about this show. Its mere existence eluded me. But never did I get the drive to actually watch it. Mostly because I don't really care about Sonic. Until now. And you wanna know what I think? I, tested DSF, believe Sawnik Zombiez to be a genuinely enjoyable and, for lack of a better word, a really fucking funny show. Now, whether the humor comes more from the actual jokes themselves or the amateur production is heavily debated amongst the Sawnik Zombiez community. However, the show can very much be a product of its time with a lot of random equals funny moments and, I honestly can't tell if this show is made ironically. You'd think so. I was so sure myself, but through the 4 hours of Sawnik Zombiez I watched, my opinion kept switching back and forth like a mother damning metronome. They are so viscerally aware of how dumb this all is, but at the same time, it feels like it was written by a 12-year-old. Speaking of which, some of you may say, tested you big bad buffoon. This isn't a web show, it's just someone messing around with a Gmod ragdoll. And to that I say, shut up, man. Dude, you're so annoying. Where's your object show? Go back to your BFDI. In all the truest words I can muster, I low-key didn't feel like watching the show much, even though it is super funny. It could be because I just really, again, don't give a shit about Sonic. But I also feel like each episode didn't really bring much that I hadn't already seen from the previous. First episode, they escape from zombies. Second episode, they escape from zombies. Third episode, they escape... What the fuck? If anything, this show's confused me more than it has entertained me, which is why the joy meter's feeling a saucy 29%. Fantastic absurdist humor, weirdly cinematic shots, and somehow perfect pacing leaves Sawnik Zombiez at a watch instead of studying diagnosis. Also, none of what I just said really matters because it's fucking Sawnik Zombiez. It's a cute little adorable time capsule of amateur 3D animation, and it should be mounted in a museum. Honestly though, just watch it for some of these line deliveries.
This is bad. Hey, Eggman, why did you do that to Shadow? I'm gonna faint. Oh, yep, I'm gonna faint. You can use my Hummer.
Fuck you, I'm climbing your video with suction cups. Look at me go.
Whew, boy, they were not kidding. His sucking powers really have no bounds. If you've watched SuctionCup Man, I'm sure you're familiar with its origins as a South Park parody short. However, what you may not know is its inspiration, who is, as we speak, in a crazy bin for climbing a tower in 2016 with actual suction cups. I'm sure this fine man would be proud to know of the successful web show he inspired in SuctionCup Man. As I am proud, the animator of SuctionCup Man, Pymations, has kept this very narrow idea consistently entertaining. I mean, it's a guy climbing a tower with suction cups, but simplicity here lends to the characters well, as they play off the insane scenarios fucking fantastically. I'm mostly talking about the dynamic between Mr. Business and the Man of Suck, that Pymation absolutely refuses to make into a toxic yaoi because he fucking hates his viewers. But I think the animation style lends really well to this kind of premise. Keeping things kind of sitcom-y almost, but still being flexible enough to add like a Satan or two. So yeah, this is pretty good. SuctionCup Man 2025, it's real, it's gonna happen. I'm not counting the bird video, it is coming, I swear. 32%. Oh, let me just start this by saying Michael Kovac is a very talented voice actor. I believe his work to be good and his voice too. However, I'm so sick of hearing this guy in every single goddamn web show I will ever watch. Now, hearing my goat Senor Pello spitting and screaming and roaring and raging on the other hand was very refreshing. And so was this pilot. I like the idea of 3 characters who basically just like killing people. It's practically a role reversal to our last show, where instead we have a grounded world inhabited by these insane individuals who will just kill because they ain't got no strabby ice cream. Creativity can rear its pretty head in many different ways. But in Pain Girl, it's just how unique its stylistic choices are, and certainly its dialogue. Some of the conversational choices here just absolutely bewilder me. However, I'm really doubting the show's gonna stay as grounded as it is if it does get a sequel. The only main difference would be evaporating the cops, because I am sure after 53 episodes of, oh, hey, the cops are here, let's get them, gang, it's gonna put your grandma to sleep faster than unplugging her. You know, I think the main thing missing from Pain Girl is the lackluster voice cast. I mean, come on, Lizzie Freeman really shouldn't be voicing Pain Girl. It should actually be Michael Kovac voicing everyone, all the characters. Michael Kovac %. Thank you. Thank you. Mic drop. I don't really know what to cover here, to be honest, because there is so many different branches of Animator versus blank running at the same time. It kind of makes my head spin. For my sake, I'll just recollect the main series, you know, versus the Animator, who is hardly in the show anymore, because really, what good is a regular dude when you're living Stickman land? Oh yeah, baby. Look at all those men. Stickman. I really want to call the show Nostalgia Bait with how many damn callbacks it has, but that's really just not fair. The show is 11 episodes long. I can't blame Alan if these animations take a long time, because holy shit, I want you to try and make this in a reasonable amount of time. And it's not just the quality of the animation, but the ideas behind it. Of course, the first handful of episodes were chock full of creative spark and each window opened. And despite the more to be expected fight scene we got in this really boring grassland area, there were still some fantastic ideas, like the mouse and the pop-up window and the oh my god, I love it so much. I'm honestly a little bit embarrassed at how hype I got watching this show. Hyped by the characters mostly. I mean, these guys have more personality than anyone under the age of 16. Except you, Yellow, you can go fuck yourself. Yay. I still didn't really care when they, spoiler alert, died. I know I should, I really don't care. Anyway, of course they'd be back in the same breath, but I feel like I was missing something, especially when Orange Man randomly got ultra low difficult god powers. We, as an audience, have been left in the dark, with the joyometer our only light at the end of the tunnel, 40%. Listen, I've been in and out of watching Punch Punch forever since the first episode came out because I can't read. And so I never really gave it the time of day it deserved. But in making this video, I really tried. I really tried. And I still can't read. But context clues be damned, I know a pretty decent show when Okay, stop. Wait a minute. Punch Punch Forever, by a damn long shot, is the funniest show in this entire menagerie. I can't even begin to explain. No matter how many times you've heard a joke, it still catches you off guard more than the last time. Every little detail in the show is utilized by its humor. I mean, holy shit, one of the main characters is Sephiroth Sword 57. Fucking Sephiroth Sword 57. You can't make this shit up. Buddy, could you please let me know what the joyometer's thinking on this one?
Konnichiwa, Testonians. I am here to tell you that tested DSF gave Punch Punch Forever 52% on the Joy-O-meter. Now, be sure to subscribe and like and stalk tested DSF.
Kane Pixels does right what every other backroom media does wrong. He has the perfect ratio of ambient horror and actual scary creatures. He knows how to unfold a story and make it twist and wind in together. He ignores the community-given perception of the fucking billion different backroom layers, because you don't need every kind of layer ever. Like fucking this This is stupid. Gee, thanks, Dr. Obvious. How'd you figure that one out? Instead, just focusing on one. The main one. The one that started it all and is the Backrooms. And you know it worked because we got his movie coming out next year for very, very, very good reason. Ignoring the horrendous pacing this kind of project is basically born with, holy fuck, I don't want the tested mobile to fall through the world and fucking kill me. That is awful. God damn. Just any time at any point for no reason, the floor can just snatch you. And with 3 people who had cameras falling in, imagine how many more have fallen in without cameras, without footage, without anything. Rest easy, Carman. You weren't just a Carman, you were a Superman. I think the scariest thing that happens in this show is Mr. 4K Wrinkles reminding me of my disgusting humanity. Because the monsters aren't that bad. Interesting? Yeah. Scary? We just don't get to experience enough of them to be that frightening. They simply act as a plot device to move the story along. The real fear is derived from the realism of the show, allowing your brain to imagine, what if I was at the Backrooms? And immediately spiraling into a panic after that thought. Did I mention the movie? Backrooms movie? You know, the movie by Kane Pixels, Backrooms? 2026? Yeah, 2026. Woo! 2026, yeah! 2026. Woo! Yeah! Backroom movie, Kane Pixel Backroom movie Kane Pixel Backroom. Carmen Winstead.
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead.
Alrighty. Now, let's see how many of them voted for me.
Man, I had a whole video dedicated to this. I really gotta talk about it again.
Fantastic, you just spoke about it to facts. Tell us more about this show and what you think.
I'm gonna stop you right there because Michael Kovac voices one of the main characters again. Kill me now. You are talented. Just why are you in everything? Get away from me. You all know my simplified thoughts on this show. As long as you've watched the other video, go watch it after this. Thank you. But on a deeper level, I think I'm in love with Kane. I mean, I hate to follow the herd, but he is just so damn entertaining. And the design is fucking and never done before in this way, which makes me love it more than I can count, which granted isn't a lot. I'd go as far to say, without Kane, I would not watch The Amazing Digital Circus. The other characters are great. Bubble's funny, King are sweet, etc. But Kane is the uncomfortable tights that bring the whole dynamic together. An unappreciated aspect of the show itself is how unformulaic it is. The first episode's the intro, so doesn't count. Second episode is supposedly a normal adventure. Third is another normal adventure, but the next 2 are contestant and jumbled adventures respectfully. A show like this could trap itself into just doing the same kind of thing every episode, which is fine, by the way. That works for some shows, but it just does what pushes the narrative along further. Its focus on characters more than the setting kind of pisses me off though. Like, I get it, but I want to see more of the circus. Like, what about the grounds? We're always in this damn 10. 64% on the funometer. No pun intended. Madness Combat has the best storytelling and characterizations I've seen from any web show ever. No dialogue, no text boxes, just painstaking frame-by-frame animation, which is why, once again, we have a show over 23 years in the making, with just 12 full episodes, 16 counting the 0.5s. But fuck, man, I don't need much more. Not only has a graphic story of madness and combat been told, but characters too have made me fall in love with each of their unique traits and personalities, and the progression of their appearance and brutality throughout the series. And really, I'm trying to display the deeper side of this series when we all know what the actual entertainment value is here. But honestly, it's just kind of incredibly fun to mindlessly watch a lone centurion be crushed down further and further until there's nothing left for him to lose. His jaw, his arm, his mind, all gone. One thing I gotta say though, is the animation quality is getting a bit ridiculous at this point. The difference in episode 1 and 12 is like comparing MS Paint's petty PNG plane pickup to a professionally produced picturesque painting. You just can't do it without being slapped in the face and told you're right. Oh yeah, Sanford and Damus are my favorite yaoi couple, by the way.
Hey, you know, and then him and Sanford make out for a while.
Always have been, always will be. This kooky Nevada desert is feeling a good 80% on the... Oh, good chair. Why is there blood filling up the Joyometer? I just... How did it get there? Oh, God. Now we gotta rinse it and clean it. Oh, the humanity.
Hello and welcome to the world of Minecraft. Everyone knows how boring the tutorials are.
I'm gonna be fully honest before we talk about this. Yes, it is very likely this first place was influenced by nostalgia, but I kept it here because even at a critical perspective, there is still a lot of passion and value from Minecraft for Noobz that I just cannot ignore. Of course, you have all the charm of a 2010s YouTube animator, but this is another of those shows that's production quality skyrocketed with each new episode. Although, just like with those other shows, that meant the further in the series you got, the longer production gaps were. And just when things started looking up with more consistent uploads, the series was quietly discontinued. Which is perfectly fine. We've got a whole 2 seasons worth of these characters in this world, and I'm perfectly happy and understanding of the animators wanting to move on to something else. But I really hope they've realized how revolutionary what they made was, being the first of its kind, to my knowledge, to blend animation with video game screenshots. Although, strangely, some shots are drawn instead, I don't know, production issues, but... Anyway, words cannot describe how satisfying it is to watch how the base slowly evolves over the course of the series. Although I feel like at some point between Peter losing his base and Basia going traveling, something changed about the set of the base into something more sterilized than it was wild and passionate. And that really bums me out. But it's okay because through the whole series, it never lost its edge, rarely cracks a bad joke or lingers on a plot idea for too long. It is perfect for the specific audience Minecraft for Noobz asks for. And I, personally, would recommend binging it instead of doing your taxes. Yo, what's good, gang? It's another test of DSF production. Listen to Sephiroth Sword 57 and like and subscribe, please, and do all the things you see here. Oh, everything on the screen. You pay Patreon, Discord, you know, you do all the things. Thanks. I love you. Hugs and kisses. And special shout out to my beautiful patrons, Stubble56 and Seth Boy RD. Thank you. Extra kisses for you too.